Hi, this is Seth Karstens with a tutorial video on using Code Sniffer with PHPStorm. Now what we're going to do is we're going to be following some instructions that are already available at github.com/WordPressPhoenix. It's in the local WordPress development under Code Sniffer. This is an open source repo, so you can always get here just by going to WordPress Phoenix local WordPress development and clicking on the Code Sniffer markdown file. This is going to give you all the instructions that you need, and this video is just a companion to these instructions to show you what it looks like. So please note that you must have the prerequisites first. A composer must be installed, and you must have VVV installed. If you don't have those things, please go seek out instructions on how to install them on your computer. After you have those, we're going to go ahead and take this one command line, and we're going to copy and paste it into terminal. I'm going to go ahead and use the terminal inside of PHPStorm, since that's what's convenient for me. You can see that this command expects that your VVV instance lives at your home directory, sites folder, VVV. Once it's done, you can see it's finished installing down here, and you just need to copy this last line because that's the location where PHP Code Sniffer has been installed, and PHPStorm needs to know that information. If we go back to the instructions, you can see that the next things that we're going to do is we're going to open up preferences in PHPStorm, and we're going to type sniff in the search, and we're going to click on Code Sniffer and the triple dots to open up the preferences. So let's go ahead and do that. So Command comma opens up our preferences. We can click in the search box, type the word sniff. We can see the Code Sniffer is the first thing that shows up here, which is perfect. And then we want to click the triple dots to open up the configuration. If for some reason local does not show up on the left side or something else does, just make sure you click the minus sign to clear out anything that's in here. And then click the plus sign if there's nothing left, and it should add local for you. Now that we have that, in our clipboard we have the path to PHP Code Sniffer that it's asking for, so I'm going to go ahead and paste that in and click the validate button. You can see here that the validation was successful. You can now set the maximum number of messages per file, and that basically just stops after it reaches a certain amount of errors. I have mine set to 99, which is pretty high. You can set yours up or down as you'd like. You click apply and click OK, and now this part of Code Sniffer configuration is done. The next part of Code Sniffer configuration is going to be from the Inspections tab, but let's go back to our instructions just so that you can see where we're going. You can see 3 is just about the local, which is what I told you about earlier. If it's not there, click the minus signs, and then click the plus sign to add local. We copied and pasted from our clipboard, so we finished step 4. The next thing is to click the Inspections tab and tick the checkbox next to PHP Code Sniffer validation. So I'm going to click the Inspections tab, and then I'm going to click, oh, the checkbox is already checked. So if the checkbox wasn't checked, we would want to click the button. It's now active and running. Let's head back over to the instructions. Click the blue arrows to refresh the coding standards dropdown and select your preferred options. So here's the blue arrows. It's just the refresh button, and that's going to give us probably some new values in here that we didn't have before. WordPress, WordPress core, and other WordPress rule sets here. Now we can choose one of those, like WordPress core, and click apply, and that'll apply the WordPress core rules. Something that's not written in the instructions is that something more advanced you can do is you can create your own rule set. Here you can see that I've created my own rule set, and it's just an XML file. You can see that in the rule set, I'm actually applying WordPress VIP rules, WordPress core rules, and the regular WordPress rules, so it's allowing me to apply all 3 rule sets to my code. This is what's desirable for me. In order to apply this rule set, I go back into the inspections, PHP Code Sniffer validation, but instead of choosing one of these predefined rule sets, I'm going to choose custom. I'm going to click the triple dots, and then I have to go find this file. All right, so one thing that I know is that I put it in the root of VVV. There it is, PHPCS.xml. When I click OK, that's going to now apply all of my rule sets and any changes that I make to that file as PHP Code Sniffer rules. This gives me a little more control over which rules are applied and when. Now I can just make changes to this file in order to change how CodeSniffer validates its rules. Now, VVV does not come with this file. You will have to make this file. That's why you see it showing up as red here on the left. This is not a native VVV file, but that's okay. It's not very long and it was pretty easy to create. Next, how do we know that this is working? Well, I have prepared this PHP file that's got a couple of problems in it. You can see here with the underline squiggly that PHPCS has a problem with a few lines. These are comments that aren't ending in a full stop, as in they're not written as statements, so they don't have a period at the end. So let's fix that. So we're going to add a period at the end of each of these lines, and most of our sentences should probably start with a capital letter. Super, now you can see that the squiggly lines are gone, and we have a green check mark in the upper right-hand corner. This means that there are no issues left in the file. That's how you install and use PHP CodeSniffer in PHPStorm while using VVV. This can be done in other projects besides VVV, but it was simplest to give an example that was all inclusive so that you could see a project all the way through to its end. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments of the video.